Peace, 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 family. What's really good? It is YaNi, Coach YaNi, Rev YaNi, the Peace Prez, the Peace Pastor, and we are signing on for another week of the Peace People's Assembly. Family, how are you doing? What's going on? I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe before we do anything else. Listen to your pastor, listen to your friend, listen to your coach. I need you all to go ahead and subscribe, sign up for notifications for when we go live. We have so much coming for you all in the future, and even the now and in the present. And I'm so grateful that I'm still alive, y'all. Like, I'm just grateful that I'm still alive. A year ago today, I was in the hospital, and my kidney transplant that my dear donor gifted me in 2018 was rejecting from my body. And so today I've got to give thanks. I have so much joy in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, and in my livelihood, just that I'm here and I get to spread more peace, more love, and more wholeness in the world. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and drop in the chat who you with. You with your mama and them, your cousin and them. Say what's up and let us know what's going on. We want to be in touch and we'll reach out to you if you just drop a comment to us. Y'all, it is March, and it is Women's History Month. And so there have been some women in my life that have changed and transformed and shaped and been there for me. If we think about it, March 9th, my mama, First Lady Helen Davis, she was on last week, celebrated her birthday. So giving thanks for my mama, who was my caregiver when I was unwell, giving thanks for all my aunties, giving thanks for all of the folks in the village that just saw me and helped raise me and loved me to wholeness in all the ways. Last week, when I was hosting a gala for the Samuel DeWitt Proctor Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, I ended by saying, look, whenever you might feel low, whenever you might feel like resurrection isn't on the horizon, whenever you feel like the breakthrough isn't coming, remember you can do all things through Christ and Black women who strengthen you. So, y'all, that's what we're about on today. I got some Black women coming through with the knowledge, with the wisdom, with the grace, with the abundance, with the authenticity like never before. And so welcome to the Peace People's Assembly. What's really good? All right, family. So we're going to get started with our first segment. Say word, say word, say word. And we are going to bring up a coach that I met about a year ago and just transformed how I looked at the world, how I looked at abundance, and even my own potential in terms of one day purchasing a home, and having something of my own in this world. So we are going to bring up my dear friend, Coach Tawny, up as we just talk and discuss all things authenticity, abundance, life, progress, goodness, health. And here we go. All right. Tawny, what's good, love? How are you?
Hello. Hi, YaNi. I'm amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me here. How are you?
I'm doing well. Little sniffles, but I look, I'm not in the hospital. The kidney is doing all right. So
Amen.
we're here.
Amen.
Yes. And tell me, where are you? Where were you? Yeah, tell me your travels. You've been here, there, everywhere, just living life more abundantly. Where you been at?
Yes. Yes. So today I am in Atlanta. I just got back 2 days ago. And prior to that,
Yep.
I was in Mexico City for 5 weeks hanging out with my best friend. She moved there a couple of years ago. So I got a spot across the street so we can go have tacos and hang out. And before that, I was in the Dominican Republic for 3 months. I
Yep.
just created my life as a snowbird because I don't like the cold. So I was escaping and I'm back now.
I love it. I love it. Welcome back to the States. It's warming up a little
Thank
bit
you.
here. But glad I'll get
Me
to see
too.
you. Yeah, when I
Yeah,
make my transition in a few weeks.
absolutely. I can't wait. Atlanta's starting to get, warm right about now. So it was a perfect time to come back.
Absolutely. And even thank you so much for one session we had whenever that was, because we got to talking about me perhaps purchasing a home in New Orleans, and it really got me thinking about making a move, and being where my community is, where my people are, where my family, is at. And you really broke it down and made it realistic, like a actual viable option for me. So tell us more about your work in the world and how it's shaped and shifted over the past 10, 15-ish years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So I'm so blessed and just elated every day to do the work that I do. And so,
Yes.
where it began about 12 years ago was working in nonprofits, teaching homebuyer education. And I didn't know how to buy a house myself at the time, but I got trained and I learned about credit. I learned about budgeting, how to reduce debt, how to snowball, and then how to save. And then I got to teach what I learned to others all over Atlanta and then empower them through their buying process, help them get assistance from different down payment assistance programs here in Atlanta so that, a family who may make, 30, 45 or $50,000 a year can still afford a home and they don't have to come out of pocket like 20 grand, like they could make
Yeah.
it work and come out like between $3,000 and $5,000. It was a lot more workable for them. So I've done that kind of work for the last 12 years. And today, 3 years ago, I quit my job and I created my own business. And I do that work and then some across the United States. And so
Yeah.
primarily I'm empowering folks to acquire property affordably, whether it's with assistance or with 0% or a low percentage down payment. And then I help them do what's called house hacking, which is they live in one part of the house, maybe they buy a duplex and they Airbnb the other side. Or they live in the top half and they have a finished basement downstairs that they list on Airbnb to create income. So it pays their mortgage, pays all their utilities, it puts extra money in their pocket. So now when they bought their house, they had a job, and now they have a job plus a second stream of income. They often double their income through the process, and sometimes
Yeah.
more. And it just gives, why I love it is it gives people the freedom to really create a life of their own design. Some
Yeah.
folks really have jobs they love or work they already love to do, and some not so much. And so it really gives them the flexibility now that their bills are paid and taken care of to really pour themselves into using their gifts and their talents to create whatever kind of positive change or beauty they want to create in the world and not have to spend 40 hours a week somewhere that they don't love. So that's what
Absolutely.
I do.
I
And I
love it.
love
I love it.
it.
And I love how this sort of shift is happening or occurring, where folks are really diving into this entrepreneurial life, and really creating this freedom and this access and these opportunities for themselves and their families that they've never seen before. So as you do your work, what are some of the highlights for you? Maybe when some successes happen in the work, like when do you really like, or are you like, yes, this is it, I love my work, I love this life? Yeah, when does that happen for you?
Yeah, seeing my clients just be thrilled initially with being at the closing table and signing the paperwork to own a property is, I'm stoked. Like their excitement makes me excited. But then the best thing after that is empowering them to create their property on Airbnb. And after they have 3 guests check in and check out, that's usually when I fade out and I'm available if needed, but they're managing it on their own. And just seeing them light up at the revenue that they can produce and then the impact on their monthly income literally double. And then getting
Yeah.
text messages or calls from them like 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks later, like, oh my God, Tawny, thank you so much. I can't believe I have this much in my savings account. I've got to figure out what to do with all this money. Like
Yeah.
that is the coolest conversation to have, especially with primarily folks who didn't have that conversation, 6 months before. It was like, I'm trying to make it work and I'm stretching and I'm making it, but there's not a lot of extra to go
Yeah.
from like, wow, I have a great new challenge of trying to figure out what do I do next with all this money that's coming in. and trying to create something purposeful or just some fun and relaxation for a while.
Yeah.
That is cool to see how their conversation around money completely changes in a 6-month window. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even when I sat down with you and you talked about the process, I was like, wow. Like, I believe.
It works.
Yeah. And so I wanted to shift and get a little more personal, because sometimes people need, a guide around how we've been able to establish our lives or set things up, or even spiritually access certain places and spaces in our realities. So if you could maybe tell the folks what has maybe been some guiding principles or some ethics that have maybe supported you in getting to where you are now and doing this work.
Ooh. So some of the principles that have got me where I am and that I pass on and make sure I recreate with my clients are the principles of really living on what you need, and not scaling up every time you have an increase in income. They call it like the treadmill. Typically when folks start to make more money, they start to spend more money, and they end up, that's how you have people making 6 figures and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. So
Right.
one of the principles that I have for myself that I transfer on is really knowing what the cost is of your lifestyle now. And if you're happy with that, like this works for you, just keep it here. Like you don't need to upgrade. Like to delay gratification is the value and the principle. Like just you're happy. Keep going with whatever your lifestyle costs. And then you have all this abundance to create something greater later. So delaying gratification for sure is one of the biggest, because a lot of my clients, some of them have, a dream. They just want to have a home and they want to have some passive income. Cool. But a lot of my clients have some bigger goal or vision, or they say, I want to quit my job completely and I want to replace my income. Well, cool. That might take a couple properties to do. And so we've got to be able to continue to work and continue to grow that income and that revenue until we can do that. And enough profit is coming in that you can live off of and still pay, save, invest. And then some of my clients have like huge visions, like they want to create a nonprofit. They want to buy and own like 5 properties in their portfolio. So that principle is really important for having them actually be able to create a path to get there. Because if you can see it, you can create it. However, if you're not managing now what you have in a way that it's going to end up there, you can easily get off track. So that's primarily just keeping your lifestyle where it is and avoiding like the upgrade escalator, I like to call it, that can be really slippery and very expensive. Yeah.
That's good.
Really
Thank you for that treadmill, analogy. Wow.
Avoid the treadmill.
Wow. So how do folks get in touch with you? How do they find you? How do they, just engage with the work and all you have going? Please point them to that Facebook group that be popping all day long and keeping my mind right.
Yes, Facebook is the place that I'm most active. So, Tawny Powell is my name. You can find me. It's a simple search on Facebook if you want to message me directly. I also run the Facebook group. Thank you for sharing that. The group is called Quit Your Job and Create a Life of Freedom with Real Estate and Airbnb. Just search Quit Your Job and you'll find it. It's a public group, and we share a lot of stuff about passive income, house hacking, real estate, Airbnb, and just inspirational stuff and funny stuff too for laughs. And I'm also on Instagram and on TikTok. Just search for Tawny Powell and you'll find me. My name is pretty easy to find.
I love it. And my last question, Tawny, thank you so much for being here. How do you stay whole in the year of our Lord 2023?
Woo, that's a beautiful question. I think it begins with mindset, right? Like I wake up every day knowing I already am. And I think the trials and tribulations in the world and just day to day, things can take us out of that mindset. And so what I do to stay whole or like restore myself to wholeness when I'm feeling like, oh, I'm frazzled and I'm not there right now. Lots of journaling, lots of meditation every day, obviously lots of prayer and self-care, like in the form of stretching, hydration, massage when needed. I work a lot of hours because I love what
Thanks
I do.
for that recommendation of
God,
our
you
Indian
know.
Yep.
You know what it is. All of that and taking lots of downtime. I work a good bit, but I spend lots of time with family and friends outside of that. And then plenty of generous alone time, just relaxing, like we don't always have to be doing a lot. So I really practice the art of doing nothing sufficiently. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I've been saying stillness is the move. Like that's just
I
where we
love that.
right now. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Yup. So journaling, y'all, come on, get with it. Let's get with our meditation time, like every day. Excuse me. Right. And my embodiment coach that I worked with last year was like, look, sometimes it's not that hour long, that 45 minutes, that sometimes it's that 5 minutes, it's that one song, it's that one, thing to help bring you back and ground you that gets you there.
Yeah, you've got to move the energy in some way. I always say, like, if you let your thoughts just stay up here, then you don't express them. They have you. You don't have them. You got to get it out. Find a journal to get it out, or you can talk to people to get it out. Like whatever works, but you got to get it out so that you can just
that's it
and create.
That is it, my dear friend. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you. I honor you, and I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing in the world. And I'm looking forward to grabbing some salads and some tea when I get back to the A.
Thank you so much for having me. And same, I appreciate you. Love the work you're doing too, YaNi. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll hit you up on Facebook after this. All right, family. That was the first segment of our Say Word. Next, we're about to hop into an interview from 2021 with my coach, Greta Counts. She's a spiritual life coach. She's a business strategist. She's also a pastor. Hi. Yeah. Hi. Aligned in a lot of ways. And so you are going to hear an interview from her. Then after that, you're going to hear a short word from me, your coach, your pastor, Rev YaNi, with our supernatural sermon for today. And then we're going to send you out with the special something that I did with ESPN a couple years ago and actually helped launch ESPNW. So we're going to close out with that. Thanks, y'all, for being here on the Peace People's Assembly. Be peace, no peace, live peace. Drop a comment, subscribe, and head over to my supernaturallife.org to give. We love ya. And family, if you're on the Facebook page, go ahead and drop some comments. Let us know where you are, where you're signing in from. Let us know how you live your supernatural life, how you live into wellness, how you live into wholeness. Even if you're struggling with something, go ahead, put it in the chat. We'll be praying for you. I have this team of beautiful people, powerful healers in the world, okay? Coaches, people that are really tapped in and caring for the world in so many ways, that are ready to receive your requests, receive your words, receive all that you got. And head on over to the mysupernaturallife.org website, and you can do the same thing. Send your prayer requests. Let us know what's going on with you. Reach out for some care. The website is live, family. We are live. We are live. And so if I think about my mission and my vision in the world, this verse, I've performed it all around the globe. South Korea, India, Germany, London, Kansas, Iowa, New York, LA. When I say peace, everybody say love, peace, peace. So when I say peace, everybody say love, peace, peace. Yeah, all I could talk about is goodness and grace. That's my grandmother's name, the one I never could replace. So I fill in the space with the words that were written for the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Jews, Muslims, and the Christians. Atheist, agnostic, lover of life. I got a message in a bottle, came to shore one night. I'm so sure of the love that I have in my heart that when I open up my mouth, know I'm doing my part. Religion is a sentiment. We try to set a precedent on how to live a good existence, but I'm just persistent. It's matter of factly, I know it's gotta be all the love overflowing from inside of me. Because they tell us that we're ugly. They shoot us in the head. Even if we're physically here, we're walking with the dead. And they're keeping all the secrets on how to get the money. So here we are acting funny like bees to some honey. Following the footsteps of the ones who rose again is to recognize you're great and never forsake your closest friends. Some of you will learn to live without condition or restraint. Some of us will be the canvas while others will be the paint. Masterfully and wondrously, it's a brush that's called cold. Hope, it's a canvas brand new, and it's time for us to float. Culture and community, I'm giving you immunity to the pain and the sorrow given to you inhumanly. Inhumanely, they forced it down your throat. They threw you in the water, said it's time for you to soak. Well, I don't like their remedy. The message that they're sending me will be returned to sender. Their name, the great pretenders. I'm better than their images. I know just who I am. The work I'm putting in isn't visible in my hands. You can't find it in a paper. You can't see it in the chart. It's in the work we do daily, y'all. And it's shining from our hearts. It's in the work we do daily, and it's shining from our hearts. Malcolm X said that when you put we, and you take it out of illness and you add we, even illness becomes wellness. So that's what we're supposed to be about in this season, y'all. When I say peace, everybody say love. Peace, peace. When I say peace, everybody say love. Peace, peace. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, y'all. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Remember, we got to be about our good work in the world. Even when nobody is watching, let's love each other communally and in a real and true and authentic way. So give me a second, y'all. I got to care on myself for a second. I got to drink some water. So give me a little second. There it is. And I encourage those of you out there not drinking enough water, go ahead and drink that water. Also, the folks that maybe have a water limit, because when I had chronic kidney disease, I was only allowed to drink 32 ounces a day. 32 ounces a day. So sometimes when people are forcing that, drink more water, sometimes I'm like, oh, but we got to be mindful of the folks with some chronic conditions, with the inflammation coming up, with the swelling coming up, with the high sodium coming. We got to watch what we say. Got to be mindful of people's conditions. All right, y'all. I'm done talking. Y'all need to see another face, okay? Look. Because this ain't just about me. This is about the community, my supernatural life, my folks that have held me up, that have been anchors, that have loved me to wholeness. All right, here we go. Next up, this woman has helped shift the trajectory of my very life. And let me tell you why this coaching is so important to me. Because when I felt abandoned by the church, when I felt taken advantage of by the church, when I felt less than in terms of trying to be a pastor and live into my gifts in the church and be authentic in my expression, I needed somewhere to go where I could remember the promises of God, where I could remember all things were working for my good, where I could remember, right, the metaphysical elements that are at play in the world and in the universe and in my life and in all of our lives, that oneness, that love essence, that love vibe that we got to tap into. That healing we got to tap into. All right, y'all. I got to bring to the stage Coach Greta, Coach Greta Counts.
Yes.
Coach, my sister, my auntie, my colleague, my minister friend, all the things. All right.
Yes. Good to see you, YaNi.
Yes, we in this coaching world together. What?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Thank you for your love, Coach. Thank you.
Yes.
So, maybe talk a little bit about how we even got connected. Okay. Yeah. What was that like, Coach?
Oh my gosh. Someone referred you to me, and we just started working together. It was a woman that I met one time,
Mm.
and somehow you met her and you've reached out to me, and it's just been, we are family. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's it. Tribe, just first meeting, right?
Yes,
And what I remember is for about a year and a half, we didn't even see each other, Coach. I didn't even
absolutely.
know what you looked like.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true, because we were working together virtually.
Exactly. I didn't even know that you rocked the fly hats cocked to the
Yes,
side.
yes.
I didn't know that you had the Buddha in the background, like I got my Buddha in the background.
All right, right. Look at
There
that.
you go. Come on, come on, come on.
Yes,
Yes, love
yes,
at first sight, love at first hearing for me, right?
yes.
Thank
I
you for being
agree.
clear audience and hearing me, right?
Yes.
All right, Coach. Tell the people about you. What have you done? How did this happen? What's it called? They need to know. I know.
Wow, wow. It's like, where do you start? I mean, when I think about what I do, and I was thinking about that as you were talking to interviewing some of the others, and the way I like to think about it is that I believe that I breathe belief into others
Yeah.
when they need it most.
Mm.
I help them to feel seen,
Yes.
to feel heard,
Yep.
and to feel loved,
Yeah.
and it's usually at a time in their lives when they're just not certain, they're uncertain about things, and I just really enjoy helping them tap into the superpower,
Yes.
to help them to develop that relationship with their higher self
Yes.
and with their higher power.
Yes.
And I absolutely love doing that. And that's exactly what I was able to do with you. And I'm so glad that I met you. I can't say that enough.
Yes, Coach. I remember I was given accounts of what it was like when I felt low, when I felt invisible, when I felt detached, right? Even when I felt like I don't know if I got to live, the rest of my life with this consciousness, right? I can live with the condition, right? I can figure that part out, but my mind just needed some help and some support, right? My spirit just needed a little love. My heart needed to be reminded that I wasn't alone. And so, yeah, how do you roll these things out, right? Like, I haven't fully deconstructed what happened there with us, but tell us more about the method or the frame or the experiences you've had that make the work so powerful.
One of my clients referred to me as a soul whisperer.
Yeah.
And I really, really was blown away when she said that to me. She said, "You're a soul whisperer
Yeah.
because you've been speaking to my soul, speaking life into my soul." And, my intention is just to embody my clients and to help them to understand and to see themselves and to hear themselves and to love themselves in the same way that God does.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I hold a space for them,
Yeah.
and I see them in their wholeness from day one,
Yeah.
and then I just enjoy the process of helping them bloom where they're planted. And it's so beautiful to witness. It's so beautiful to see.
Absolutely. Wow, wow, wow. All right. So, Coach, I'm gonna do something a little different with you because I could go there with you. We know how to do this. All right. So, Coach, if there's someone out there, right, that's struggling with a chronic condition, right? Someone that's struggling with a chronic condition, can't seem to make it out of bed, right, every day, can't seem to shift their consciousness or their thinking around what's going on, feeling isolated and disconnected from community, right? We know that those people are out there watching right now, Coach, right? Those are the people that we want to love to wholeness, whether it's us showing up as pastors in our congregation, right? Or the work that we do outside of the world, right? Motivating people and empowering them. So, Soul Whisperer, please give somebody an encouraging message and some love right now, like you do.
What I would say to them,
Yeah.
I would give them this affirmation. This is an affirmation that I've used. I use it myself and I share it with so many clients. And it's this: God in me is my health. God in me is
Yes.
my health.
Yes.
Because I think one of the things that happens when we feel that way is we feel separate from God.
Yes.
We feel separate from good. We feel separate from good health.
Yes.
So when you think about that God isn't over there or in the sky or off
Mm-hmm.
somewhere,
Yes.
God in me is my health. And just be with that thought,
Mm.
and to also think of your body as a good friend. Yeah, think of your body as a good friend. Your body loves you.
Wow. Whew.
And when you take the time and you sit with that, because sometimes we're rejecting what's happening. But if you would just surrender, put it down, and let God handle it, it's not
Yeah.
your problem, it's God's problem.
Yes. Absolutely.
And sometimes what happens is we focus on the problem, and it's my habit to focus on God,
Yes. I
because
love.
if I focus on God, then the problem will take care of itself.
Mhm. Absolutely. Right. Like things are always
Yes.
working for our good, working in our favor. Thank you so much for
Yes.
that, coach. Right. The
Yes.
God in me is my help. Right. They
Yes.
want to keep us fragmented, right? They want to keep us divided. They want to keep us in these intersections and
Yes.
compartmentalizing all of who we are. But if we
Yes.
think about God being all and being in everything, I know at one point, coach, I had to start visualizing my cells, my very cells being whole and complete, right? And I would imagine every morning when I wake up as I was taking a shower, even though the toxins couldn't really move from my body, right? As I stopped using the bathroom, like the jaundice in my eyes came. I had sludge in my spleen, edema in my feet, all of this stuff was happening.
Yes.
And in the morning, sometimes when I couldn't even stand up fully or stand up straight, where I felt like I was about to fall and my brother and my mother was going to have to come and get me, I would
Yes.
just visualize that water washing over me,
Yes.
right? In this very visualization practice. Yes.
Yes.
Yup.
Yes.
And so for the folks out there, look, remember what my coach just said, right? The God in you is your health. The God in you is your health. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are not defeated. You are not invisible. You are not nothing. You are everything. You are everything in God's sight. Everything in God's sight. Thank you, coach. Thank you, coach. Could you
Absolutely.
Yes. Could you tell us a little bit more about what's coming up with the work now, coach? What's coming up with the work now? How's it looking? Where do you see it
You,
going?
I see it going exactly where you are taking my supernatural life.
Oh,
You know, that's what I see. I see that 2020 gave us an opportunity
mm,
to do things differently. Church, I grew up in the church. I was in the church 5 days a week,
yeah.
morning, noon, and night. My mother was an assistant pastor, and at the end of the day, everything is church, everything is God, and so it's no longer on Sundays
Yeah.
or Wednesdays. It's every day. It's every day. It's an everyday practice.
Every day. And
Mhm.
coach, you know how you have your affirmations, your mantras. My new one is practice makes peace, right? So like practice makes peace. How our practices make peace and draw in peace.
I like that.
And you know what I remember, coach, as we were doing our work together, you told me how a large part of, well, one, you said, look, get ready because things are about to take off for you. Your life things are about to change. They're about to shift. And
Yes.
as we look at where I am, maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, we see how quickly these things happen, right? And the Bible talks about where two or three are gathered, right? The
Yes.
spirit is
Yes.
in the midst. And so even virtually, family, when we're gathered, all right, the spirit is in the midst. That energy is in the midst. So tell me a little bit. You talked about how you sit and you pray and you meditate and you think about the clients that you work with. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and that healing process that happens in your work?
Yes. So I absolutely enjoy to the fullest um, holding a space for others. So for any client that I'm working with, it is a daily practice for me to sit with that person in mind, in my heart,
Yes.
in my mind, in my spirit, because what I know is that we're one.
Yeah.
You know, we're one. We really are one. And so I want my clients to feel lifted, whether we're on the call or not,
Yeah.
whether we're seeing each other face to face or not.
Wow.
Because, yeah, spirit is non-local. It's non-local.
Yep.
It's everywhere present all the time.
In all things. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so I can be wherever I am and I can be connected to you. There
Yep.
is no separation. We're one. It's just what it is.
Yep. And times
Yes.
where I'd be thinking about you, you be thinking about me, want to make the call, send the
Yes.
text, right?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm so thankful for the
Yes.
care that you've shown me and given me, my dear Greta. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. So my last question, you kind of touched on it, but when you think about the supernatural way, because people are going to be seeing more of you, right? Right. In this space.
Yes.
And as we team up and do some other big things in the
Yes.
world, right?
Yes.
The supernatural way. When you hear the supernatural way, what comes to mind?
The supernatural way is to be who you are.
Yeah.
To be who you are. It's about authenticity. It's about wholeness. It's about taking your whole self everywhere.
Yes.
In a relationship, to your job, to the table, wherever you're going, you're showing up as your whole self.
Yep.
You know, I always think about this, that an apple tree or an orange tree can only produce what it produces.
Yeah.
But yet, as human beings, we try to do different things on different days in different places, and it causes us to feel divided within.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Take your whole self everywhere. You know, allow God, allow spirit, allow Christ consciousness to show up in you, as you, through you.
Yes.
Because it is you. At the end of the day, it is you, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be who you are. That's what supernatural life is about. The supernatural way is about, and it's a lifestyle. It's a daily lifestyle. It's a practice. It's a daily spiritual practice.
That's it, Coach. That's it.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for you. I love you. I thank God for you. Any last thing you want to say to the people, say to the world, say to, I don't know, your daughters, say to whoever. Anything you want to say?
I just want to let everybody know that you're already all right.
Hey.
You're already all right. You know, there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to try to change. You just have to love yourself. You just have to love yourself. That's all. Yeah.
Love you, love you, love you, Coach. Thank you.
Yes, love you too.
As you always say, thank you, God. More, please. Thank
yes. you. Absolutely.
Peace, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Peace. Love you.
But always making that time to meditate and pray and stay balanced and connect and rest and live into wholeness. And that's what I want my supernatural life to be about. Balance, wholeness, peace as practices, and never forgetting the supernatural way. All right.
To whom it may concern, what I'm doing here is not for you. Not for your judgment or your appraisal. Not for your assessment or your arousal. No boy I know has ever been told he shouldn't play, couldn't play. I am no longer interested in shouldn'ts or couldn'ts or rules not written for me. I am not worried about getting too big or too strong or too fast or too full of myself. I do not agree that playing like a man is a compliment. What I'm doing here is not for you. Movement is a movement. My effort my ambition, my desire for me. For every woman, every girl who dares to see herself as something more than a body to be rated, a score to be kept. When I play, I keep my own score. When I play, I know who I am. When I play, I forget how it feels to be boxed in, to be boxed out. When I play, I feel no shame. When I play, I remember how it feels to be free. This court, this field, this world, too small to hold me. When I play, I know I won't be undone. I won't be unsung. My humility, my humanity, my movement, a movement. This is not the end of my dream. This is where I wake up.